Hello YouTube friends. 1 month ago, I said I was quitting YouTube. And here I am. I am back for a couple of reasons and I've got a whole lot of explaining to do. So, am I back for good for YouTube? Yes, with some caveats. Let me explain. 1 month ago, like I said, I made the video that I am quitting YouTube, and if you have not seen that video, please go watch that video first because that will make this video make a lot more sense. Quick summary of that video, I was basically quitting YouTube because of the FTC's COPPA law related to children and YouTube messing up, and they were collecting children's data when they shouldn't have been, and YouTube basically just shunting all of that legal responsibility and liability directly onto the creators. Now, I said at the end of that video, like, it was goodbye for then unless something drastic enough happened for the better. And I will say that something has partially happened for the better, enough so for me to continue on YouTube with some caveats. So let me explain. When YouTube initially came out with this information about the COPPA law, there was a press conference video of this fellow commissioner at the FTC making an analogy about how they're going to be shooting fish in a barrel. And YouTube is the barrel and the content creators are the fish. And like, clearly that was like a really inflammatory statement, and you know, they were throwing out this number of, we're going to fine you $42,000 per violation per video that violates this COPPA law, and all this unreasonable stuff. Since then, a lot of clarification from the FTC has come out since that original press conference, because I don't know what they were thinking with having that guy as their press conference guy, because according to the stuff that's come out, it's not quite as over the top as they were making it sound then. The information that we were given then, I really think there was good reason for me to quit YouTube at that time with the information that I had. And there were a lot of YouTubers who felt the same way. There have been a number of people who have completely deleted their channels, which I'm really sad. I'm like, people, don't delete your channels, just make them private so you can come back if you need to. Or there have been a number of people who have just go ahead and marked their channels as for kids, which is basically a death sentence for a channel as YouTube settings are as of now. I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so as of then, it seemed like a really outrageous thing that the FTC was doing, that it was this government overreach. Since then, a lot of stuff has come out, making most YouTubers realize it's not quite as scary as it originally sounded, which is a good thing, it's a really good thing. If you're a creator watching this, I encourage you to go watch KreekCraft. You probably have seen this guy's video. He himself, there's also been a couple of other lawyers who are also YouTubers who have some great videos on this. I'll see if I can find their channels and link them all down below. But there was one particular video from KreekCraft. He got on an airplane. He flew to Washington, D.C. to the FTC and in person talked to the Federal Trade Commissioners, like the actual commissioners. And what he found out was actually really good news for a lot of YouTubers. So basically what the commissioners were telling him in person were that, okay, this has been a little bit blown out of proportion, which is, I'm glad to hear that that was the case, that it actually was being blown out of proportion. I still don't know why they had the guy talking about the analogy of shooting fish in a barrel. That's not good PR, guys. But aside from that, all of the other commissioners that this guy talked to said, they were like, look, we're not out to go bankrupt creators. That is not our goal. We're not, here, oh, we have all this almighty power. We're not out to get people, So that's really good. I'm really glad to hear that the government is actually being reasonable. YouTube got this lawsuit and was fined, $170 million, however much it was, for a reason, because YouTube was legitimately breaking the COPPA law. They were legitimately collecting data from minors to direct their advertising to individual viewers. That is what personalized ads are, and that's illegal. To to do that with minors. So the FTC was coming after YouTube for that. And YouTube's response is, oh, we don't want that to happen again, even though it sounds like a lot of money to you and me, $170 million. To YouTube, it's pennies, honestly. Like, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So, like, they can absorb that, but they don't want to get fined over and over again. So they're basically saying, okay, the legal liability is on the creators now. We're washing our hands of it. We're basically just putting all the responsibility on the creators, even though it's not the creators' responsibility. It's YouTube's responsibility. I'll just throw this in there because content creators have never had control over the data that YouTube collects from viewers for advertising. We never ever see that. So really it's not our responsibility, it's YouTube's, but that's beside the point. So when this KreekCraft fellow was talking to the FTC commissioners, they were saying, well, yes, we're not out to get people. We really are going after the big violators. People who are clearly, trying to draw in children when they are clearly not for children. He said you can go back and look historically at, what types of corporations or individuals that we've gone after, and it's usually like really blatant stuff. He was also told that the FTC offers 3 options. YouTube has only offered 2. You have to mark your videos as either for children, not for children, or general audience. So that general audience, meaning it's for anyone, basically. All ages could watch it. The FTC offers that. YouTube selectively chose not to offer that option to creators, which I'll talk more about that in a minute as well. So anyway, in terms of the FTC itself, like, they actually seem like they're in the right here. Like, they are actually, it's true, we don't want to be collecting personal data from minors. That, like, we're all on board with that, right? So really what this comes down to is YouTube. YouTube is in the wrong here. They did not offer creators the general audience option. They said you have to do for children or not for children. On those terms, I realized that my channel is safe under the COPPA law. I have chosen to mark my channel as for adults because it is. My primary content is directed at parents who are adults. In terms of the FTC, I no longer feel like it is a risk to me personally anymore because the FTC is not out really to go hunt for creators and to just like get as many people as they can. Like, that's not their goal, which is, I'm glad to hear that. So I feel like the FTC is on creators' sides. So that's good. And I feel like I can actually keep my channel because of that, because my content is directed at adults. So I'm grateful for that. Now, the other side of this is YouTube. The way YouTube responded to the COPPA law is not cool. They did not offer creators the general audience option, and they did not have to basically kill all the children's channels. Because like I said in my previous video, if you mark your videos as for children, they take away your comments, which I already don't have. But they take away your comments, they take away your end screens, they take away your notification bell, they take away, what were some of the other things? Like the cards, when you put the little strip across, I can't even remember what they all were. Basically, they take you out of the algorithm, basically. So they bury you and you can't be found through search on YouTube. So it's basically like the channel doesn't exist and you can't be found in search at all. It's basically killing children's channels, which, like, why YouTube? Why? That's not a cool move. And I really feel like there's a better solution, which I am going to make a whole video on that after I make this video about what I think YouTube should be doing for that. Because, like, let's not kill off the children's creators, like the really quality children's creators out there. They're doing so much good. Like, my kids love a bunch of stuff that's on YouTube, and they, it's like educational stuff. It's good, wholesome stuff for my kids to watch. Even though it's not directly affecting me, thankfully, I want to stand up for my fellow YouTube creators who do make children's content. And, like, that is not cool that YouTube is doing that. as to why YouTube is doing all of this is the same theory that I had in my original I'm quitting video, which is it all comes down to corporate greed. They're basically saying, okay, well, if we can't collect personal data from children anymore, then we're just going to shut off those channels because we can't make as much of a profit off of them. Like, there's no other explanation. And I really do think that there is a solution that helps everybody here, which I will talk about in my next video, so stay tuned for that. I think YouTube is trying to move its efforts into becoming more of an adult, like, streaming app, kind of like Hulu, Netflix, that kind of thing, which YouTube, you're making a real big business mistake there. Those kinds of streaming apps are already taken over, you know, they already have their industry, and it's based on professionally produced stuff. YouTube is traditionally based on individual non-professional creators who have become professional because of YouTube, but your creators are your platform, you know, so if you're screwing over your creators, you're screwing yourself over. There's no other better way to put that. And I really think they're going to have a hard time with competition trying to get the same kind of content that Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime have, because that's not what they have originally based their platform on. It's been based on individual creators. So who knows? I mean, I'm not a business person, but that's just the way I see it from my little view down here as a tiny little YouTube creator. Anyway, the long story short is I think I am going to be able to continue on YouTube, which I'm really glad about, but I wish it didn't have to be, you know, this bittersweet thing. I really wish that I could continue and be like, yes, YouTube has made the right choice. I am coming back with gusto, and like, I'm glad to be on this platform, like YouTube represent, but I'm doing it kind of begrudgingly. And the reason is because it's just the reality that YouTube has the monopoly on online video, and they are partnered with Google, right? They belong to Google. So they have the whole Google search on their side, which is enormous. Like, none of the other platforms have that. So when you search something, it searches YouTube videos if you're searching video. Mostly. I mean, sometimes it searches other stuff, but the vast majority of stuff that comes up is YouTube videos. And so because it's a monopoly, I just kind of feel like there's not really another option for having that kind of reach. For those of you subscribers who have followed me over to Vimeo and Facebook, I wanted to thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you guys doing that. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to keep Vimeo or not. I had been trying to upload all of my old videos onto Vimeo because I was afraid that they were going to delete I was going to have to delete my YouTube channel. But now that I don't think that I'm so much at risk because of the COPPA thing, I can just keep all of my videos on YouTube. And there's no need for me to re-upload it all, you know, like all my old vlogs onto Vimeo, especially since I have to pay to be on Vimeo. I'm questioning whether it is a good investment. They have excellent customer service over at Vimeo, which is awesome. But they just don't have the reach. They just don't. And the level of community that YouTube has. So I still haven't decided for sure, but I'm kind of leaning towards withdrawing from Vimeo now that I know that I can safely stay on YouTube. But one important lesson that I have learned from all of this is that I really do need to diversify my content. In the last 5.5 years, I have put all of my eggs in one basket. Like, I put it all onto YouTube. I mean, I have had my Facebook page all along, but I haven't put video on there. So now that I've started putting some video onto Facebook, I'm thinking that I'm going to continue doing that. So I think I will just continue to put everything up on YouTube that I was before, including my family vlogs, including all of my educational type stuff. But I think I'm also going to put the educational videos onto Facebook also. Because those are usually the videos that I really, really want to have that communication with the viewers, because it's an important content, or people have questions about the content, or they want to share their experience, or there's really that community aspect that you get in comments, which brings me to the other thing. The other reason I am begrudgingly staying on YouTube is because I still don't have comments. I have something to say about that. My friend Shawn Howell, I will link her channel down below. Bless your heart, Shawn. She pointed out to me, this is news to me, like I think it may have changed in the last year or two because I had never ever seen this before in all my time on YouTube. There is a way to get a live chat with a human being at YouTube because I had never had any sort of customer service support with YouTube ever before. So thank you, Shawn, for pointing that out. Now, I did try this to address the comments issue on my channel. Really, you can tell that they still don't care that much about creators. This feature is buried. It's like you have to do it by pressing a send feedback button, and then you have to like follow this like convoluted, click on all these different things just to get to, live chat or help chat. And it's not easy. It's not obvious. They don't make it clear that it's even there. You have to kind of know that it's there. Still not cool on YouTube's part, but whatever. Okay, so I finally got to a human being at YouTube on this help chat. Some peon at YouTube, bless their heart, they were very kind on chat, trying to be helpful, and I'm not blaming that person I was chatting to because I'm upset with the entire corporation, not this individual worker. So I was like, okay, can I get my comments back? And he's like, give me 10 minutes, see what I can do. So I was like, oh, well, maybe he could do something. Comes back and he says, no, sorry, your comments were deleted because something about your channel was flagged. And I was like, so what was flagged? Like nobody ever communicated to me from YouTube about what was wrong. And he said, it's because you have minors in your videos. And I'm like, what? That makes zero sense. I told him, I was like, I could point you to literally 500 channels that have minors featured in their videos as part of the main part of their channel that all have their comments. Don't think that's the real reason. I really think the real reason is that they have a dumb algorithm that pinged my channel for whatever reason, caught on to some keyword or something that it didn't like, and no human made the decision, just the algorithm shut it down, and then there's no way for me to do anything about it, and it destroys my entire community. I was like, I'm sorry, but that's not a real reason. And there are even, not only like wholesome channels with minors involved, but like questionable stuff where they very much have comments still. And there are all these people, even with channels with no minors, like they have no minors appearing in their videos and they had their comments disabled. So it's like, that's not the real reason. Like, come on, YouTube, be transparent here. Talk about your real reasons behind things and make a way to rectify it. So I like really pushed this guy. I was like, look, I need my comments back or I'm leaving the platform. And I also pointed out, which I'll tell the story about in a minute, I have actually talked to some larger media in the last couple weeks. This was like kind of a surprise to me that this even happened, but I was like, look, I've been talking to the LA Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, there are a bunch of other creators doing the same thing. Like, you might want to start caring about your creators a little more because creators are unhappy and YouTube is starting to get negative press. You might want to take that into consideration. I didn't fully expect that he could do anything, really. I was finally getting human being. I'm just going to put it all out there because there is no other way to contact YouTube. So he was like, okay, I will take this information. I'll take this complaint to my inside team here at YouTube and I will get back to you about this. I was like, great. Can you specifically tell me how will you get back to me? He said, email. I was like, great. When will you get back to me? He said, in a week. Okay, so a week has gone by. I've heard nothing at all. I'm debating on whether it's worth my energy or not to keep pestering them about it. Like, I don't know. If I kept pestering, would they eventually, like, does the squeaky wheel get the grease? Like, would they eventually finally pay attention because I am annoying them enough? Like, hopefully, like, the negative press that they're getting will be enough to maybe make some positive changes. Who knows? But that is another side story. This is going to be another long video, and I apologize because so much has happened in the last month. Like I said, I actually had a couple of media, like larger media groups, reach out to me to do interviews. And I know that they've been doing this with several creators. And I was honestly kind of surprised that they reached out to me though, because I have about 15,000 subscribers. in the grand scheme of things, I'm a pretty small YouTuber, so I was surprised that they reached out to me. But I guess they caught wind of my I'm quitting video and wanted to ask some questions about it. So I did an email interview with a gal at LA Magazine, and I did a phone interview with a fellow at the Wall Street Journal. Like, I was really surprised that they were reaching out to me, but I'm really thankful that they did. The LA Magazine article is out. I will link that below if you want to read it. The Wall Street Journal fellow said it should be coming out sometime in the new year. So once I get access to that link, I will let you guys know if you want to read the article. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm not the only one, you know, talking to media about this stuff. I know there are a bunch of other people doing the same. And hopefully the negative press really will get YouTube's attention. You got to care about your creators, because your creators kind of like employees. And if you don't treat your employees well, they're going to leave. Plain and simple. Like, this is plain and simple business. Like, treat your employees well. So anyway, like I said, I think I am going to continue with YouTube. I have this like bittersweet feeling about it. Like, yay, I'm gonna get to stay on YouTube, which is good, but like, boo, because YouTube is still being evil. But, you know, like, I'm doing it because there's no other option, because YouTube is such a monopoly that they're the only platform that has the reach that it has, and I just want to reach people. So I think I'm gonna step back a little from Vimeo, since my videos are safe on YouTube, I think, and just continue where I left off, uploading videos on YouTube. But I am also going to upload them onto Facebook. So if you are interested in not just watching videos for educational purposes, but like actually having community, please go over to my Facebook page, Eat, Pray, Crunch, like it, so that you can see the video, not only see videos there, but comment on them. There are comments over on Facebook. I still want to have that community with you guys, and unless YouTube decides to make the right choice and give channels back their comments that they wrongfully took away, which I'm still not holding my breath because it's been a whole year, like, and I don't think, you know, they just don't care. They don't care about small creators as things stand now. So I'm just kind of going on the premise that I probably won't get comments back. So if you want to have community, which I really still want to have with you guys, please go over to my Facebook page and like it. And I will be uploading, with the exception of my family vlogs, because I don't want those on Facebook so much, just because I almost feel like stuff can travel faster through Facebook because it's so much easier to share. And I just don't want my kids being spread around Facebook in that way. Even though I recognize I'm putting them on YouTube, I understand that, but it's just, they're less popular on YouTube, which I like. Yeah, so the family videos will just stay on YouTube, but everything else that I put up, I think I'm gonna also upload to Facebook. So if you want to be part of the community and be able to comment on stuff, watch in both places, or go over and watch on Facebook as well, because I'm trying to diversify my channel a little, and, you know, do part of my stuff here on YouTube, part of it over on Facebook. But if some other very promising platform comes along, I will definitely consider that as well in the future. So anyway, so that's where we're at. So yay for being back, boo for YouTube being corporate and evil, but that's where we are. And in terms of my community and you guys, I am really glad that I do get to keep my channel. I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful that the FTC is not as crazy as we originally thought. So yeah, so I guess we're back into the swing of how I ended videos before. So if you are interested in moderately crunchy lifestyle and parenting and mental health and gardening and healthy eating and all of that good stuff, do consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell so you can see my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I am looking forward to now continuing to connect with you guys here on YouTube and over on Facebook. Take care, you guys. Bye.